What's up, Vol fans? My name is Joey Petersen. You're watching Tennessee Football Talk. We got a loaded show for each and every one of you today, starting off with Boo Carter as the saga continues. Austin Price speaks again on everything that's going on with the Vols defensive back. And then we're going to get into the latest recruiting buzz, rumors out of Knoxville for the 2026 and 2027 classes. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. Talking a little bit of quarterback competition for 2026. Is MacIntyre the guy? VolQuest insider Austin Price actually discussed a little bit about G-Mac. We'll tell you what he says at the end of the program. This show's first time here. Welcome. So happy you are with us. Make sure you subscribe. It's free. It's easy to do, and we really would appreciate it. Right now, we are only down 8 subscribers to the Alabama Football Report. If you look at our season-long sub battle, this thing has been going on for 12 weeks, and we only got a couple weeks left. We got to bridge the gap now, and I need every single one of you guys to help me get there. So if you have not joined us yet, and if you hate the Alabama Crimson Tide, subscribe to the channel. So if you've missed it, Boo Carter is back in the headlines and has been so for probably about the last week. He was in the headlines in the summer when he decided not to show up to workouts. Then he got a de facto suspension from the coaching staff, was off to the sidelines during the beginning of training camp, then kind of worked his way back into the good graces of the team. Slowly but surely upped his playing time until the Kentucky game, where he really wasn't out there defensively in the second half, and then Oklahoma rolled into town the next week. He didn't play a single defensive snap against the Sooners, and that's when last week we got this update from the VolQuest insider Austin Price, who said nobody expects Boo to be here next year, and the fact that he didn't play a defensive snap against Oklahoma tells me his status with the defensive staff. Now he was back there for punts. This year he decided to go AWOL in July. He had to go through some stuff off the field to be back on this football team, and he still had some minor hiccups behind the scenes. And the staff has kind of stuck with him. Even with him kind of coming off the bench, he's not been very good. And if he's not going to be zoned in, locked in, and willing to do the little things, then I don't think you can trust him to do the little things out there in the big games, like in the Swamp or at home against Vanderbilt. So for me, if I'm going to coach, I'm going in a different direction at this point in time, but that's just me. So that's catching you up on everything we know up into this point. But Austin Price has yet another update on Boo Carter. This one a little bit more in the vein of why he's unhappy with Tennessee. He said he is unhappy because he's not starting. And now he isn't even playing much. But all that is because he made mistakes during the summer and has been less than dialed in when he has had opportunities this fall. So there you have it, our newest update from Austin Price. It's obvious that Boo has been less than dialed in, and I love that the coaching staff is seeing it as well and doing something about it. We saw it 100% clear as day in that Kentucky game. When he's chasing after that wide receiver, he looks like he's about a step behind him, 15 yards to go to the end zone, and then what does he do? He just pulls up. So, Boo Carter, easy to see. He's been less than dialed in this season, and that's extremely frustrating because it's not for a lack of talent when it comes to Boo Carter, but it's effort and it's focus. And so I think we can kind of summarize this season as messed around during the summer, got back in the good graces, played 41 snaps during Mississippi State. Guys, they were all about Boo Carter being a player on this football team again. And then he started to show to this coaching staff, hey, look, I'm not dialed in. Well, good on them for not putting him out there on the football field. I wouldn't have, and I doubt you would have done the same. Where do you think Boo Carter will play in 2026? I feel like the two biggest, I'd say the two leaders in the clubhouse are Colorado and maybe Georgia, but I think my money's going with Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffs, because if you know anything about his mom, she has not stopped talking about Deion Sanders pretty much all season long. So that's my guess. You let me know your guess in the comment section down below. Let's talk recruiting now. Gabriel Ascenda, if you missed it over the last couple of days, the 5-star offensive tackle for the 2026 recruiting class, shut down his recruitment despite rumors coming across all platforms and avenues that he might be flipping. Well, he made sure to tell everybody, look, I'm going to the Tennessee Volunteers. Once early signing day comes in December, I'm signing my name on that dotted line. I'm all Vol, baby, which I think was great news for Josh Heupel and this recruiting staff. Lawrence Britt, the 4-star in-state wide receiver for the 2027 class, named his top 10 schools, and the Tennessee Volunteers made the list, as well as Miami, Vanderbilt, Florida, Mizzou, Florida State, Ole Miss, Georgia, Oregon, and Alabama. Good list to be on. Glad to see that the 4-star wide receiver is still thinking of coming to Knoxville and staying inside the Volunteer State. Caden Henderson, 5-star linebacker, second best linebacker in the class of 2027, was quoted as saying, after his visit to Tennessee for the Oklahoma game, the Vols were much higher on that list. Now, they had already made his top 12. He made that known. But I think after the visit, it solidified Tennessee to be even more of a legitimate contender than I think he even realized going into that visit. Now, we all know that Legend Bay flipped yesterday from Tennessee to the Ohio State University. And there's multiple reasons, in my opinion, why this happened. A big one was because of the depth coming from Tennessee's wide receiver class in 2026. But Austin Price said, well, Tennessee wanted him as a wide receiver. Ohio State, they wanted him as a hybrid. So I think he just thought he fit better in Ohio State because we all know he plays quarterback at North Forney High School, just outside of Dallas, Texas. Tennessee strictly wanted him to commit to being a wide receiver. I think Ohio State is a little bit more open. I think they're obviously open to him being a wide receiver. I think running back is probably where they're more leaning him to be, and I think that fits into his skill set a little bit better given the fact that he has 1,600 rushing yards. So if you're pressing the panic button for the Vols losing the commitment of Legend Bay, I'll ask you to stop doing that. It's fine. He just felt like he was better at Ohio State, and the competition, wide receiver recruiting class-wise in 2026, is a little bit deeper at Tennessee. You want the Vols to finish strong recruiting? Because they have 3 weeks tomorrow until National Signing Day. If you want them to finish strong, hit that thumbs up button and like today's video. Something I know you will like is this deal. If you go to chatsports.com/UTQZip, you can get this quarter zip for just $30. Guys, it is getting cold all across the country. It is 50 degrees yesterday in Dallas, Texas. We're recording this video. I know it was snowing in Knoxville, and I know you guys need a little bit more layers, and I hope those layers are donning the orange and white, and in this case, smoky gray. $30, that's all that quarter zip is going to cost you. If you go to the link in the comments and in the description, all you got to do is click on it, chatsports.com/UTQZip. It'll take you this deal, and then bada bing, bada boom. You're checking out in minutes, and you got it in days. Chatsports.com/UTQZip. We're going to round this thing out talking about the latest rumors when it comes to the quarterback one for the 2026 season. Many believe that George MacIntyre will be that quarterback. Now, that might confuse some people, given the fact that there's an older quarterback, Jake Merklinger, that's still on this roster. Well, Austin Price believes he's not going to be on this roster for long. We talked about this last week, but here's a reminder. Most people don't believe that Jake Merklinger is going to be here past January. And if you deep down believe that, if you're Joey Halsley and Josh Heupel and you don't believe Merklinger is the guy or that he's going to be here in January, then I'm going to give those meaningful reps in a game to George MacIntyre. So right now, as it stands, the Tennessee Volunteers will have 3 options for the 2026 starting quarterback. Option number 1, 5-star true freshman, Faison Brandon, who will be early enrolling and signing soon. Option number 2, 5-star on some accounts, but 4-star on the main ones, George MacIntyre. And then option number 3, you go to the transfer portal, you get a bridge quarterback. That's kind of how I see it right now. But the latest on George MacIntyre, Austin Price said that he would take George MacIntyre to be the starting quarterback in 2026, but he has to put on weight and start taking that side seriously. He said that that was one of his major jobs in the fall season, was to put on weight, to put on muscle. And it doesn't look like he's put on much at all. And if you've ever seen George MacIntyre, whether that's in person or whether that's a picture of him, you know he looks just like a string bean, 6'5", 195 pounds. And I honestly feel like that 195 pounds might be a little bit generous. And I know it's probably a little bit hypocritical to talk myself, about somebody else being a little bit too skinny. But I'm not going to be a quarterback in the SEC one day. George MacIntyre just might. So him putting on weight is going to be something that's really, really important if he wants to take over that spot in 2026. My plan when it comes to the quarterback position next year, get a cheap quarterback in the portal and make them compete, right? Go get a guy that you won't have to spend more than $500,000 on and see if there can be a really big competition between him, Faison, George, and the best guy, he gets the job. At the end of the day, I trust Josh Heupel with this decision, just like I trusted him this last offseason, and he ended up making the correct one, going with Joey Aguilar. I trust Josh Heupel fully with going with the right guy. Who do you think is going to be the starter in 2026? We asked you this a couple days ago, but I wonder if this new information changes your mind. You think it's going to be Faison, you think it's going to be George, or you think it's going to be somebody else? Type FB, GM, or PP in the comments section down below. And make sure you got me followed on social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. All those links are going to be in the comments as well. Click on them, give me a follow. And if you're not subscribed, ladies and gentlemen, change that right now. YouTube.com/VolsTalk. We've been growing like crazy. We're not going to stop anytime soon. If you want to help us get to 10,000 subscribers, shoot.